Hey folks, welcome back. It's Lucid, and we've got a couple turns for you here with this Rlyeh game. So we're doing a bunch of site searching here, and I don't think we have too much luck. I think we find something. We find a Fire 1 site, which is really not what we were looking for. I mean, Fire is a great gym type, but it's sort of hard for us to use right now. Later we'll be making Rune Smashers. Yeah, so this, and then manual site searching, we found a painted cave here, because we were too chicken to go back in. And then there's a battle here where Asphodel attacks Agartha. It's kind of interesting. These guys are size 4, so they can't wade through. They also trample, and tramplers can't wade. You can see he's got a decent number of these Furies, and they're casting Regrowth on them, it looks like. Now, those Furies are just impossibly scary. They're so good. We ping this province. So this is the Throne of Life, I believe. Oh no, maybe this is the Throne of Secrets. But it's a bunch of barbarians. So it's about 180. Then there's about 50 of these warrior illusions. And then there's the 2 commanders, which is really what we want to get eyes on. Astral 2, a bit of Fire and Earth, and then a Death 3. So probably Skelly spam and stuff. This is not really that scary. May summon a lot more illusions or something, but I think that's okay. And importantly, this turn, we're trying to storm 3 forts, and we had kind of set it up perfectly so that we had enough to pop both Oceania forts. Really, I mean, I think I told you guys this war with Oceania would be over super soon. And with that, I called out the checkmate, and I think it was right. So, yeah. So let's look at this. And they've gone AI this turn, too. Or last turn, maybe. So we end up spending about 6 water gems per underwater fort. I just didn't want to take any risks, really. So if there's a chance they summon water elementals or something, they could kill the meteorite guard pretty easily. And I want to have my own water elementals in the gate. So this one's quite successful. There's a siren inside, but we kill everything else. Oh, we kill a siren, too. And then we're storming Oceania's capital. And this is a bit more of a mage commitment. And we've got a bunch of people to do body ethereal and stuff at the front. And the Mind Blasters are doing their thing here. And like that, we take this. I'll just lose 1 meteorite guard. So very efficient fort storming. It's one thing I have enjoyed playing Rlyeh so far, is that a lot of times fort storming can be real cancer. And I feel like we've had just tremendous, I don't want to call it luck, but it just Rlyeh's really good at popping through forts without too much inside them. And a lot of that's just due to body ethereal, but also like water elementals and stuff underwater are really good at breaking through fort gates and stuff. So, and the Mind Blasters, they don't have the sort of, I don't think they get a damage malice from the wall defenders. Like they're just plinking people on the wall like it's no problem. So and they have good siege chap with the Lobo Guard. I would say Rlyeh is like a 9 out of 10 probably on siege warfare. Like other nations like Scalaria will have more siege strength and they can pop more forts and things like that. But Scalaria often has trouble getting through the walls. It's possible for a few good men to hold out against Scalaria. So, yeah, that's that. And then there's finally a battle. This is probably going to be the hardest one. This is the battle for Yes. And the reason is there's a lot of archers. And we want to get some buffs put on our guys, but we also don't want them to kill our archers. I put a little screen of Lobo Guard out front. And then we have some Meteorite Guard, which are going to fight the main people in the gate. And then these guys are going to shoot. But then we've got some mages back here. I want to buff them. Now, what I tested was if I had this guy scripted to do Stone Skin, would it target him or them? And I think if he's mixed in, it might target them. But if I put him back just a few squares, it tends to want to target themselves. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so you can see this little animation right here. These guys did get hit by Stone Skin. So they've now got a decent amount of protection and they're ethereal. So we're unlikely to lose them. And now they're casting Body Ethereal. Yeah, just so good at taking forts, it's crazy. So that was super efficient. Interestingly, I think Yes is also AI now, so they did summon a few ogres. But yeah, that was the end of Yes. That was Yes's last fort. And importantly with that, that's going to get rid of all their dominion, so we can start spreading our dominion. There's a really funny event that happened. We had a bear tribe shaman join, and he's now stuck on this island. So we're going to have I should have named him. We'll name him in the next turn, which is the live one. But he's going to site search here, now he's stuck. If I can make a ring of water breathing, we can sort of fix that, but... Naked people have been seen dancing in the woods. This is seen as an ill omen, and faith is decreased. And then misfortune, and then summoning was successful. You guys see that? Your eyes deceiving you? No. It is a vastness. We've got a second one. This is an extremely low chance. Let me tell you what, it wasn't even something that was in my psyche that this might have happened this turn. This guy was Summoner 5 last turn. So he would have been Summoner 5. The Vastness is a 16. It's a non-exploding 2D roll, 2d6 roll. So you have to roll an 11. 11 is really hard to roll. It's a 5% chance. But before that, you have to, like, you know, pass the summoning check. So this only happens, like, probably on average every 2 or 3 turns. Probably like 2.5 turns is the average frequency to, like, have it. So... every 2.5 turns, and then of those 2.5 turns, when you're at Summoner 5, it's only going to happen 5% that you roll the Vastness. So it's 1 in 20. So if we say like every 2.5, it's like 1 in 40 turns. And then on top of that, there's an 80% chance you keep it, and there's a 20% chance it tries to kill you. And so we got the 80% chance there. So really, this is almost like a 1 in 50 chance that you're this low of a summoner level and you get a vastness. Extremely lucky. Extremely lucky. So we have 2 vastness now. We teleported our god home, and free hugs here is going to Gift of Reason one of the vastnesses. Darkside Cookies gave me some names. He's not a Hydra because he's not looking at turns, but I'm talking to him about the game. And he's very good at coming up with names. So I told him I was very excited I got a vastness. And yeah. And it's interesting too, because I kind of complained about, like, complained is a strong word. I had voiced some annoyance with the brain trust that I was fighting, because they changed their diplomacy midway through. There's none of that with me. I am firmly the pilot. But it's really fun. If you've never played a Dominions game, like with a co-op, like a Disciples game or something, it's fun to have a team of people to talk to, like, about your game. And you can kind of get by with that. If you have friends you play Dominions with, like people I think what happens a lot of times is some people don't really have the time or want to chat much about Dominions, but other people enjoy it. So if you find somebody you get along with that enjoys chatting about it, it's a lot of fun if y'all share what's going on in each other's games. And it's not even really so much just for advice. It's just fun to have somebody to talk to about it if you like that sort of thing. We killed 39 bandits and Yes, so that's very nice. We got the unrest down to 11. And yeah, Yes is destroyed. Yes is vanquished. So all the dominion here is gone. So that's going to be really good, because enemy dominion is going to cause unrest, and it's going to prevent our own dominion from getting rid of unrest. So we got a temple here, which is nice. We're going to start preaching. We're going to patrol here, see if there are any scouts present that we can yoink. And here's the thing. We sort of actually technically could probably take this turn. We'll see if I had it scripted at all. Yeah, it looks like I had it scripted. So, oh, wait, did I not? Oh, wait, I had the wrong guys. This is basically the script. Illithid soldiers in the front, meteorite behind. I would bring in some more mages like this guy, and then I have one mage here. Bring them in. I think I already have this all scripted. I'll just show you what it would look like. Something like this, right? Zap these guys with a bunch of... Basically, you buff up the front line, and then these guys fill in. When I went and tested it, because I really would like to get this thrown early, go ahead and get that growth and the nature income. And if in the test game, I just had like an old thing, and I tried seeing how many barbarians we could kill. Turns out that the morale matters so much here. Morale really is the kind of key thing you need with Rlyeh. As we're getting farther in the game now, we can actually manage this okay with items. We haven't started doing that yet, but we can. So that's good that we will be able to manage it, but it's kind of a real problem. And with no stars, they have only 10 morale, and they're pretty likely to rout. With 2 or 3, they probably would win. And most of our guys have 2 or 3. Like, this is all the people that have 2. So there's only a few people that probably only have 1 star. So this is what we were going to do. It probably would have won, but we're just going to wait for these reinforcements to come in. And I think these guys are also going to make it there about the same turn. These guys are going to go boom, 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 boom. And these guys are going to go boom, 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 like that. Then we'll be able to take this. And then what I'm doing is I'm taking the main force here, Kissing Booth Attendant, routing them south, and then they're going to come down here and take this. And hopefully like that, we should have 2 thrones. And then once we have the thrones, we'll start building forts. And once we have the forts built, or not even once, we'll be on the eye to make moves. But I think that's basically it. We're doing more site searching. I got these guys running out, various things like this. Yeah. I think that's it. The Indies, this actually is really funny with Oceania. So we had pinged off this before. They have gone and purchased 2 Indies. And there's like 20 something, maybe even more, 30 PD here now. So Oceania, this is their new capital. And this guy won't be able to take it. We've got these guys coming in to kill probably with high attrition, kill these long dead and ghouls, get us underground, and then my plan was to take this. I'm not sure if this chaff army can actually take this. I think we're going to have to try to thug it or something. Maybe we can send a Vastness in, but Vastnesses actually are not, they're very light thugs. Vastnesses can die to PD, for sure. And the changes in Dominion 6, they're a little worse. It used to be the Spirit Form tag didn't exist or didn't block things, but yeah. These guys are pretty bad. They're not bad. I mean, this tag is really bad. So you can't point buff protection at all. It's really hard to have, like, these guys. There's multiple problems using these guys to thug. One is because of innate caster, which they'll get. You don't see it now, but they'll get when they level up. Because of innate caster, they tend to fatigue themselves out pretty quickly, and there's not really much you can do about it. It's just sort of how it is. They also don't have miscellaneous slots for you to put, like, fatigue regeneration gear on them. They're very good light thugs. They're very good counter thugs. But they're not very good heavy thugs. And against that much stuff, they would basically just die. So, but, maybe they go in support, or we can have them support the thrones. They're very useful later, like if we're worried about Wind of Death or something, which we're pretty resistant to. But like Nidavanger is kind of position 1 right now. Being able to like turn 0, essentially do anti-magic is really good. So, yeah. And then we also may empower them. There's a few candidates. Empowering in Death is kind of cool. You can do Soul Vortex with just 1 death empower. You do Power the Spheres and then Soul Vortex. And that goes a long way to help, like, fixes a lot of regeneration issues, like fatigue issues that they're having. And then I believe invulnerability does work with Spirit Form. Yeah. So death is really kind of, I think, the best thing to empower them with. But, we'll see. What else could you do? You could do like Phoenix Pyre, but they'll fatigue themselves out. That's not really good. You really need one of these things that will help them with fatigue. Earth would be kind of good. Nature, personal regen and stuff is nice. Glamour, invisibility could be cool. Like, lean into that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel Death is probably the best, but we got to get our income up. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all the happenings this turn. Let's go to the next one. Okay, we got the live turn. It looks like Zabalba got on. It's just Nidavanger, who has been... they are Hydra as well. It's a Hydra of very experienced players. Or at least one of them's very experienced. But yeah, they've been leaving their turn unfinished, which is kind of a common Hydra thing to do. They're not in a hard war, so it's like, why are y'all leaving the turn unfinished? I'm not sure. I'm sure they have some reason, but I'm pretty sure it's a Hydra thing. Okay, So we cast Voice of Tiamat, we cast Voice of Reason, or Gift of Reason. We also should have done this a little bit ago, but we had this guy do Ritual of Returning. And I'll explain a little bit how this works. If we get hit, so okay, if we get assassinated from the Void Gate, the assassination battle takes place on this plane in our capital. Their Ritual of Returning will work and it will send us home and we'll be okay. If we get sent to the Void, which there's a significant chance every turn that happens, if we get sent to the Void, then if we get hit there, Ritual of Returning does not help us, is my understanding. I could be wrong, but that is what I remembered from the Late Age Dominions 5 Rlyeh game that I had on Vastness. But anyway, this is still a good thing to do for us. So anyway, Summoner 4's, yeah, he didn't successfully summon anything, but he's casting Ritual of Returning as well. Oh, we can pull these gems off him. Now, what happened to... I have 16. I need to do more... We'll go through events, but I need to spend these gems. Let me mark my turn as unfinished here. I don't want it to roll. I want to spend these gems. So we cast Voice of Tiamat, don't find anything. Cast Dark Knowledge a couple times, don't find anything. Site searching, we found the Pebble Eye Plane, which launches an event chain where you can basically get a bunch of items. I don't know what you do, but you just need like an Astro Mage there. There's a few good ones like Eye Catcher. You can get a Eye of the Void and a few other things. So we found the Pebble Plane, and then we found a Dream Kelp, and this gives us some glamour. So very good to get our glamour income up a bit. And yeah, that's it for the sites. We fight underground, and we have a bit of a Pyrrhic victory here. He quickened himself. That's a bit of a waste. We have a couple of priests here too, so they're going to town. But the Long Dead are significantly better at fighting than Lobo Guard. So we're not trading great here. And those guys retreat, so that's a bit annoying. Where did they retreat to? Are they up here? Yeah. Okay, so we took this. There are a few events. This is the start of the astral kind of searching event. Oh, we got some Lamias here. Interesting. This is our... we're getting a real story arc for this druid. I'll give him like a protection script or something. And then what else is down here? So we got the Lamias. And then this is really weird. We got a rabbit foot charm, which is cool. And then we got 76 slave troopers, which is kind of not cool. This would be nice if... these are just kind of a liability. I mean... they're going to be okay if we give them like a taskmaster, but we can't put them on like a garbage commander. They really need to be with like an Illithid. I guess they're better than Lobo Guard in some ways. They don't have great morale, but they do hit a lot harder. But they're going to just die in droves. So they really are just Siege Chaff that can hit a little harder, but they're more expensive than Lobo Guard. I don't know. This is costing us 20 upkeep a turn, all these guys. So I'm not super excited about that. I don't really have a great way to get them killed off either. Yeah, so that's it for events. Now, there's a few things we need to do. We need to kill this. One of the things is that these guys are expiring, and hopefully they don't have money to rehire, but maybe they do. I think the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ping this and just see how much stuff is here. Because if there's like 80 PD because the AI is cheating and has a ton of money, I want to know that. So I think we're actually going to ping this here. I was considering sending this guy in with this guy to buff him. But what I decided is there's too much stuff. We can come up with a script where he'll survive and likely won't run. But we don't have enough killing power. So I'm actually going to do 2 guys. And then we'll have them fluffed by this guy. So that's the plan. But there's a lot of things we can do. We can do like the Iron Skin point buff. We can do Temper Armors, which is a point buff. And then they're both going to do Astral Shield and Breath of Winter at the end, and that'll help kind of freeze everybody around them. This guy's going to be doing some of the things we're going to put on the other fluffer, like Body Ethereal Quickness, Gift of Formlessness, Blur, Shroud of Bewilderment. Right now he's not doing Breath of the Winter or Breath of Winter, which actually is more important. We'll go ahead and put this on because he needs cold protection or he'll likely freeze up from this dude. But basically we'll take Quickness and Body Ethereal off and Gift of Formlessness off. And we'll have him do a bunch of other self buffs like Astral Shield and Shroud of Bewilderment and maybe a Cheat Fate. We'll throw that in there too. But yeah, anyway, and then they'll go attack this and they should be able to kill it. So that'll be important. If I planned better, I could have done this the previous turn, I think. But anyway, we're doing it now. It's important to have it done so that we can get rid of this toxic Dominion, but it'll happen when it happens. The other thing is next turn we will be doing a double throne assault. So we're going here with a pretty big army. So we're going to have over 100 Meteorite Guard and about 80 Illithid soldiers, and then we'll attack this. This should be no problem. There's Drakes here, which are a bit of a problem, so we'll probably lose a few guys from the Drake Breath, but I'm going to put some of these guys on fire large, and there's a decent chance they zap the Drakes. But this is also so many Illithids. We'll kill the PD, like the troops here, possibly before they engage with us, like the Drakes do. Because the Drakes are going to cause... There's 2 Ice Drakes, I believe, and 1 Fire Drake, and they will kill the Meteorite Guard with some efficiency. And then here, we're going to be attacking it with these 30 Meteorite Guard, these 20, so up to 50 Meteorite Guard and 15 of these guys, the Illithids, plus another 35. So we're about 50 Illithids, and then about 60-something Meteorite Guard. So that will easily take this. And then once we have it, we have to decide what to do. Not too much has changed in the world. Graphs-wise, our provinces counts slightly, but these guys are flat. Forts, we had this huge jump from when we took all those forts the previous turn. So we're really looking good in forts. But Nidavangur, who's really in position 1, they don't really need that many forts. They have a ton of forts for Nidavangur, actually. Nidavangur actually gives like even lower fort. Income, we're catching up a bit, and some of this will catch up more. We'll actually pass Nidavangur unless they get bigger as we get our Dominion spread and as we patrol out Unrest. So, you know, I think I had said this before, but I think we have the ability at our current size to get our income up to about right here once we get things a little better taken care of. Gym income starting to turn up. Blood income, Zabalba is starting to ramp up. Jotunheim's ramping up. Research, Nidavangur shooting up like a rocket ship. You can see last turn we had a bit of an inflection since we had a lot of new people research. This turn, though, we're going to have a huge inflection. Oh, wait, am I right? No, last turn we had a big inflection because, let me see. We had taken it and all these mages sat around and researched. Yeah. So yeah, this inflection right here from this to this was the mages that had been sieging forts researching, plus like a few new mages. One of the things we've really done this turn is I've got, freaking lying. Pretty much every fort, oh god, this one's not making, this guy's making, I was about to say every single fort's making slave mages except my capital, but that's clearly not true. But yeah, we are making a lot of slave mages. I'm just a liar. That's all there is to it. Okay, I need to turn these things off. I think I'm making too many of them. I need to figure out if I can make another. We don't need more. Let me see if I can turn off a bit more recruitment and get one more slave mage out. Oops. How much is this? 245. Okay, we've bought another one. Let me see if I can find where we put them. Was it here? Here? Yoink. Okay. Great. So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think for this we actually need to move any mages. So I think we might do this one. I think the barbarian one will deploy some mages. I think this one will try to do it without mages. We just have so many troops. I think we can do it. Yeah, this will be pretty good. Obviously, we already have score graphs, but this will deny this to other players. And then spread our Dominion. Bit more pearls, bit more glamour, bit more blood. This is the real prize. Yeah, so I think that's it. And I think we're basically just going to be in a holding pattern here for a few turns. Basically, I think we need to get people interested in killing Nidavangur. Heim's interested. I don't think Satis is interested. I think we're going to see a global go up from Satis, and then maybe we kill Satis. But I have to be careful because this is like a lot of thrones. So if like Nidavangur gets this throne and this throne and this throne, then them getting Satis thrones would be really bad. So and like this one really needs to get forted. I probably need to ask them to fort it. Heim apparently went for this throne this turn and this throne this turn and lost a ton of mages fighting it. So we might be able to see that in the army size score graph. Yeah, I think that's this. Maybe it was last turn that happened. They lost a bunch of shit. So that's kind of rough. They've messaged me and they said they think they have no way to win the game now. It's like, okay, it's a little early to say that. But losing a bunch of mages, I think they did like a Skelly spam communion. This is a forest troll throne, and they tried to take it by like Skelly spamming it. But apparently what happened was they had some people run out. I think I told them they probably should have all their guys on bodyguard, but they didn't. And yeah, apparently they HP routed their army once the people that ran out to fight the forest trolls died. And then it was a shit show after that. And they lost a good number of mages, so... Agartha is marching back to fight for Agartha, so that'll be interesting to see how that works. And Alba expanding underground here. They took these are just really high value provinces. So yeah, the one thing I do want to think about here is one of the things I kind of waited to do this recording really to think about is we finished now Alt 5. So this gives us access to like some fire resistance if we need it with water, you know. Fire resistant warriors. I was thinking I might need it for the drakes, but I think we're just going to overpower them. Famous last words, but we're going to be picking up Construction 3. It's going to let us start forging things. And then Evocation 3. That's going to let us do Magic Duel. But then I need to think about what do we do. I think we have some options. We could go for Stellar Focus, which would be cool. We could go for... And this also gives us Solar Brilliance in case we're fighting Asphodel. Anti-Magic can be good if we're fighting Nidavangur for, like, you know, Wind of Death stuff. There's basically a lot of good stuff in Enchantment. And in many ways, I'm thinking that's probably what we should do. I'm not sure about Stellar Focus adding Drain in the world. That's sort of bad for me, in that, you know, we like things to have magic scales and be vulnerable to magic. But it would slow everybody else's research down a bit. And I could do it at some place where I can... It does give you magic scales in the province you cast it. So if we were to cast this in some place, especially where I have like a lot of shitty mages, I don't care if they die. Increase the magic by 3 in the province where the ritual is cast. That's gonna make them get really hard marked though. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. It would be really great to get it, but I don't know. I don't have a great feeling about it. But doubling my Pearl income could be huge. Could be huge. That would be the real reason to do it. I think the drain stuff and the sort of more trouble than it's worth. But, I mean, +3 magic could be big. So that's one option. We go Enchantment. Another thing is maybe we just run up Construction. I sort of feel like we do this. We run up a bit higher in Construction. It would be really nice also to have access to Legions of Steel, because we have really good armor on our guys. We have Earth access. We can cast this pretty easily. This would be really good against like Nidavangur if we're fighting them. They have, you know, really hard-hitting weapons, and they've got the dual-wielding guys where having a bit more protection is really good. So I kind of feel like this would be good. And then, do we get anything else here? Golem construction could also be huge. Golems can change a war if you have a really good golem kit that finds the right army to fight. So this is potentially something we want as well. We don't really have a great golem fluffing paths. We have Earth, so we can have these guys do... Where am I? We can do... No, that's not true. We can do Quickness and Earth. These are pretty good. Like, Quickness and Iron Skin on golems would be really nice. Okay, I take that back. Yeah, so I think we'd probably run up Construction 6. Get golems. I want to have at least one golem on hand. and we'll make a kit for them that can possibly swing, be a pretty major swing in a war. I'm not sure the exact kit we would put on it, but I think this is good. It's going to open up some of the magic diversity issues. And I mean, there's a chance we even just go a bit higher in construction and, get like a ring of sorcery and just really get rid of some of the magic path issues we're going to have. I sort of feel better about that. But enchantment's really good too. Like, we definitely want to get foul vapors. We definitely want to get Serpent's Blessing. So maybe we do something like this. Sort of what I'm feeling right now. We do have near Oceania. We do have this Conjuration discount site, which we might need to figure out how we should make use of it. Contact Naiad, Bishop Fish, Sea King Court, Streams of Hades. I'm not really sure. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Queen of Water Elementals, maybe? Yeah, I don't really know what we do with this. I mean, we do like a Well of Misery play or something. I mean, this could be kind of fun. Increase growth scales worldwide by 2. Asphodel would love that. Yeah, that could be fun. But I don't know if we're going to be able to control that with 5 death income. We do need to spend these pearls, or not pearls, these water gems. So let's look at where we can. There's a hotkey to show site searching. Magic. Map view, go to capital, view entire map. I don't see anything here for site searching. Okay, we'll just click around. So this one we could, but this is like a kelp forest. They tend to not have tons of sites. We don't really have much that hasn't been site searched at all. And a lot of the things around Oceania have been site searched, even if not by me. But they might be the best bets we have. This one's already been site searched Earth, so we're really just searching air and fire. This is a pretty good target. All right, so let's do that one. These guys research pretty well. Maybe we use this guy who has pretty low research. And we'll have him do it here in the deeps. I'll have him do it there. Do I have somebody else here who... This guy. Okay. He should be able to reach... the Broken Ocean. Let's see if we can cast it there. Voice of Tiamat. Okay. So we're site searching these two with Voice of Tiamat. So I think that's about it. Oh, so here's our guy. We're going to start naming them. This was Darkside Cookie's idea. Name them different chemical formulas. So our molecular formulas. So anyway, this will be H2O. We'll probably do like a methane and yeah, not sure. Maybe we put like a meth one in there too. We get like a really, really crazy one. We decide to power. That could be pretty funny. They're researching right now. There's also one thing Darkside Cookies mentioned that was kind of funny is you can use these guys because they have Void Sanity. You could use them to hunt, to fish in the Void Gate, which would be funny. They will build up Summoner skill. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, so that's it. We're Gift of Reasoning, another one, our second one. And we're going fishing again. If we get another Vastness, or if we get it'd be really good to get the Visitor too. That would be super nice. And I think that's about it. Next episode will be fun. We'll hopefully get 2 thrones. Hopefully do a bit more site searching. Hopefully get our Dominion spread. I have been making these priests here a little bit. I probably could actually do making a couple more. Let's see if we can afford some. One, two. How much are these guys? 65. Let's see if we can free up 65 more gold. Yeah, we definitely don't really need more forts. These land forts we build are going to... Yeah, we're not making any troops. We can't afford to even make mages out of all our forts. We can spend so much money per fort. These slave mages are just really expensive. So yeah, we're not actually recruiting any troops this turn. So we're already overbuilt and we've hardly built any forts. We've just stolen forts from people. It's kind of crazy how few forts we built. I think we built Here's our capital. We built this one. We built this one, and we found that one. I'm going to say we built 2 forts, even though we found a third. I don't think we built anything else. This one we stole, this one we stole, this one we stole. Stole we took. this one, yeah. We built 2 forts this whole game, and we're winning the fort graph. It's crazy. It's like while we were fighting this desperate war, spending all our money on PD dumps, the people we were fighting were like buying luxury forts. Fuck. But yeah, it's pretty funny. Okay, so I think that's about it, guys. We'll see you next time. But let's flash up a few more things about the graphs here before we close out. Dominion, we're starting to tick up. You can see we were down here. It's starting to go up, so that's good. We're going to be fighting to get this like probably right up around here. I think this would be a healthy level for us, be competing with Ashdod and Nedavanger. Research, we're gaining. I did want to mention this. We are gaining, I think we have 9.5 Slate Mage per turn effectively coming up. Probably like 9 because we're sending somebody out site searching every once in a while too. So we're right at around like 150 new research a turn. So we're going to be up at, 1,500 soon. So we'll catch up this research deficit. And then we got to figure out what we're going to do with it. And we pretty much have figured out we want to go after Nedavanger, but the game state might not let that. There is a world where we go kill Ashdod. Not Ashdod, Asphodel. We're going to have a lot of armies over here when we take this. And we could walk in and pretty much just put them out of the game, I think. I can't remember which of their guys are mindless. If the Carrion Furies are. I'm kind of thinking they aren't because they go berserk, but maybe they are. However it is, we should pretty much ruin them just with sufficient quantity of stuff. And it's going to be hard for them to field mages, and like we'd paralyze all their minotaurs, and then all we're doing is fighting the chaff. I think we could pretty much end these guys, take a huge nature income boost. What else do we get? There's literally nothing here. We certainly don't need to, but it would be good to take them out while they're easy. Go here, take this out. Yeah, I don't know. This also gives us a good way to get attacked. I think the problem if I start going over here, it gives Ashdod a good reason to attack me, in a way, even though this is kind of shit land. And then if I get fighting Ashdod, how am I going to stop Nedavanger from winning? And that's my main concern, I think. Otherwise, I really am inclined to go after Asphodel right now. I'm biased against probably going after Kirby. Like, all things equal, I'd probably rather not attack them. But, I think we could basically just end them. So I don't know. We'll have to think on it. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.